story time again. Now, have you ever been to the aquarium? You have. Well, this story is all about Scrabo, the Strangford seal. And it's a little seal who lives in Strangford Loch, and he ended up at the aquarium. So we shall find out how he ended up at the aquarium. There he is there. Okay. I love seals. I think they're lovely. Here we go. Do you see? There he is there. And there's the Scrabo Tower there, and then this is Strangford Loch. Scrabo the seal pup lived with his mother in a beautiful part of Ireland called Strangford Loch. From nearly the moment he was born, he was able to swim. He loved nothing better than gliding through the shallow water using his large hind flippers. That's those ones there. Scrabo's mother was protective. There's his mum. She swam nearby at all times, watching him as he explored his new surroundings. Then, when he was beginning to get tired, she let him out of the water for a rest on the warm, sun-baked rocks on the shores of Strangford Loch. As they lay together, basking in the splendid summer sunshine, she gently talked to her little boy, telling him about her wonderful adventures in the loch and warning little Scrabo about its dangers. "Scrabo, my dear," she cautioned, "you must stay in the shallow water, close to the shore. Don't swim into the deep water until you're older. In the middle of the loch, there are rushing tidal waves called the Narrows. The current in this part of the loch is too strong for a seal pup. Stay near the shore where you will be safe." Do you think Scrabo listened? There he is, swimming in the water. Scrabo loved his mother very much and listened carefully to what she said. But, like all seal pups, Scrabo was curious. As the days went by, he swam further and further out from the shore, and he explored further and further around the coast. All the time, his mother watched him from a short distance, making sure that he was always safely within her sight. So he's getting further and further out from the shore. One day, Scrabo swam around the coast until he came to the picture postcard place called Portaferry. He swam close to the shore, watching the buzz of the activity on the land. Cars were lined one behind the other in an orderly queue to drive onto a big boat. Here it is here. Scrabo's mother swam up beside him. "That's the Strangford Ferry," she explained. "It brings people and cars across from one side of the loch. Let's swim over to the nearby rocks and you can watch the ferry sail." Without another word, Scrabo's mother manoeuvred him onto the rocky shore, and then she stretched herself out and started to gossip with the other seals. What do you think's going to happen? As the ferry left the port, Scrabo slipped unseen into the still water. Excitedly, he swam close to the ferry, following its foamy trail. But by the time his mother had realised he was missing, Scrabo was swimming through the deep waters in the middle of Strangford Loch. Oh no, that's where she told him not to go. What do you think's going to happen? Scrabo was very excited. What an adventure, he thought to himself. Suddenly, he felt the waters tugging him downwards. The current swirled him round and round. It pulled him down and down. He could feel himself being dragged deeper and deeper into the dark, murky waters below. Oh no, poor Scrabo. He struggled to swim to the surface. Strong seaweed caught around his flippers. Poor Scrabo was stuck in its slippery hold. Normally Scrabo only stayed below the surface of the water for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, but now he was caught underwater and he couldn't get free. He began to panic and longed to be back with his protective care of his loving mother. Why had he not listened to her? She had warned him about the tidal waves in the middle of the loch. Why had he been so silly and swum away from the safety of the shore? He tugged and tugged at the seaweed, trying to get free, but the more that he twisted and turned, the more he became tangled in the seaweed's strong grip. Oh no, do you think he's going to get free? In a last attempt for freedom, Scrabo pulled at the seaweed. It tore from the rocks below and Scrabo swam frantically to the surface of the water. Gasping for breath, he floated helplessly. He was too exhausted to swim to the shore, so he just lay there, drifting with the tide. He closed his eyes and thought of his mother. There he is, he's just lying there and there's a seagull up above. Oh, he's so tired he can't swim. Early the next morning, A caring lady and her little black dog found Scrabo lying weak and powerless on the beach. Poor Scrabo had a large cut on his left side and he was unable to move. The lady phoned the Explorer Seal Sanctuary and they swung quickly into action in an effort to rescue the injured seal pup. That's good, isn't it? Here it is. That's the aquarium and the seal sanctuary. Scrabo was immediately brought back to the seal sanctuary where he was weighed and a vet tended to his injury. Then he was left on his own in a big pen. For the first few days he was tube fed with a fish mixture. However, it didn't take long before he was eating whole herrings, and when his cut had healed he felt much better. He was moved into the outdoor nursery pond. Sit there. It was lovely to mix with the other seals again. It made him think about his mother and how much he missed being in her loving care. Oh, he's missing his mum now. By now, Scrabo's rescuers knew that it was nearly time for him to be released. They put him into the big pond to prepare for him to return to the wild. On the day of his release, Scrabo was wrapped in a net, lifted from the pond and put into a huge plastic bucket. Then it was tipped out onto the beach. He knew that he had been free to return again to Strangford Loch. With no intention of waiting around, he wriggled into the water as quickly as he could and swam away in search of his mother. Do you think he's going to find her? It was wonderful gliding through. It was wonderful to be gliding once more through the waters of Strangford Loch. Scrabo didn't have to search far long before he found his mother. She was overjoyed to see her darling boy once more. She swam protectively beside him, lovingly watching him make sure that no harm would come again to her little Scrabo seal, the Strangford Sea. There we go. Wasn't that lovely? And there he is, swimming with all the fish. So Scrabo went on a very big adventure, didn't he? And he ended up at the aquarium. Maybe you might get to visit the aquarium and see some seals. I hope you enjoyed today's story. See you next time. Bye!